This chapter and the previous one and the chapters to come are essentially the Enlightenment of Rama. Ram is now communicating from the same place as Vasistha. He's still got a few questions up his sleeve, but basically this is it for Ram. Ram said, "Alas, for a long time we have roamed this infinite space without knowing the reality and deluded." That's two things: without knowing the reality and deluded because we believe reality is something else. The illusion of world appearance vanishes when one is awakened and enlightened. More will be said about that in the next chapter. So awakened and enlightened, perhaps being awakened means knowing reality, and enlightened means no longer deluded. Then one realizes that it has never been, it is not, and it will never be. All this is pure consciousness and supreme peace. It exists as the infinite. This isn't an intellectual realization. It's something you feel deep in your bones. It transforms the quality of your existential tone. So pure consciousness is what it is, and supreme peace relates to that tone. It exists as the infinite. It exists as what is going on. It exists as the apparent samsara. All this is indeed the supreme consciousness, which appeared to us to be samsara because we had not rightly understood its nature. It is the Supreme Being itself that appears as the object of such statements as, "This is different. It shines like this. These are worlds, and these are mountains." So this is the basic cognitive process. This is different means we're making a discrimination in what's going on. We're making a division. We're saying this is different from that, and it shines like this. This is what attracts our attention. This is what hypnotizes us into believing in its reality. This is what enchants us. And this is how we build up our world. This is my world, my universe. You have your world, your universe. And there are things in it like mountains. Who can argue with the reality and the impressive solidity of mountains? Mountains are concrete, they are real, they are substantial. This is what we get caught up in. We get caught up in this conviction of the external world. In the beginning of creation, at the commencement of one's life in the other world, and at the beginning of a dream or a reverie, it is consciousness alone that arises as its own object. How could there be another? We often get reference to this other world, and I've suggested that it means the hereafter. And I think this suggestion is backed up here. You enter into life, or you simply wake up from a dream or a daydream, and all you've got is consciousness. It's like in a dream. It's the same mechanism as in a dream. What's a dream made up of? What is the reality of the objects in a dream? They're all of the nature of consciousness. Consciousness becoming its own object. How can there be another? How can there be anything apart from this consciousness? When there is the notion, I am in heaven or I am in hell, one experiences that as a fact. We experience all our notions as facts. What we think of as reality, what we understand as reality, is nothing other than notional. And when we come to a new life, we may be in a human realm, a hell realm, or a heaven realm, however you want to understand it. These are our notions. There is no seer, no object, no creation, no world, and not even consciousness. No waking, nor dreaming, nor sleep. Rama's push beyond the final discriminating tendencies of cognition, the cognitive aspect of consciousness. Up till now, we've been told this is the reality. It's of the nature of dream. We have waking, deep sleep, dream and turiya. But these are modified states of cognition only. They're not modified states of consciousness. Consciousness cannot be modified. You might think, well, last night I was fast asleep and this morning I woke up. I entered into deep sleep and dream. What's the reality right now? What's the reality of your consciousness right now? Is its nature dependent on time and space? What seems to be is also unreal. If one inquires, how has this illusory perception of unreality come into being? Such an inquiry is inappropriate. An illusion is not a reality. Illusion does not arise in consciousness, which is incorruptible. Hence, what appears to be illusion is also consciousness. Now, this is the question which Ram kept coming back to throughout the Yoga Vasistha. If all this is pure, absolute consciousness, how come illusion arises? Again, he's pushing beyond the final discriminations, the discriminations between sleep, dreaming, waking, and so on, and also the discrimination between reality and illusion. We keep stepping over these discriminations. We keep coming back. We keep pushing through to new levels of openness, of acceptance, of pure being. And we let these discriminations, we let these concerns die away.